it's Elisa, the Half Asian Tarot Queen, reminding you the April giveaway. So I'm giving away this deck at the end of the month to one lucky subscriber. And so all you have to do to enter is just subscribe. There's a link at the end of the video. And I want to note that if your privacy settings don't allow people to be aware of your subscribership, I won't know that you're there, but if I am aware of you, you'll automatically get entered into the hat, and hopefully you'll be one of the winners. It's like weird because there have been like some really big shifts that have happened this week, but at the same time there's been like a certain gentleness about it because it's like earth-shattering stuff, but like above the fray in a certain sense, which has been interesting. But I'm gonna pull a few cards from the Mystical Shaman. Whoops. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay. And then I'm gonna also pull from the Spirit Animal. I'm gonna pull one card from Spirit Animal Oracle as well. But yeah, I don't know how it is where you are, but there's been like a lot of like thunderstorms and lightning happening in my world this week. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna pull two because I'm gonna take the bottom two. All right. So for the Animal Oracle, we got the Ant Spirit, which it's time to collaborate, which is interesting because this is like a nice, interesting spin-off from the last reading that I did at the new moon, because it was all about like healing and like being open to receiving, you know. And so it's interesting that this comes up, you know. It's time to collaborate. And then Spider Spirit, make your dreams real, you know. And so, like, I think with both of these together, it's like, it's kind of a reminder too that, like, you know, like your dreams are bigger than you know, and so you're gonna have to work together. It's sort of like, you know, Yoko Ono, who I completely, you know, she would say, you know, a dream with just you is just a dream, but when there's another person, then it's reality, you know. So I think that's kind of what these animal oracles are speaking to. You know, you gotta spread your wings to make your dream real. One sec. Okay, so then when I go to the Mystical Shaman, we got the hummingbird, the arrow, and thunder. And this is really cool because this was in the last reading that I did, which I should link to because I feel like these readings definitely go together. But so the hummingbird, you know, this is really inspirational because it's just this tiny little bird, you know, but this bird, despite its, you know, being tiny, is fierce, you know, and this bird like flies like these really long distances, you know, and it goes on these like epic quests, you know, like following its little hummingbird heart, you know. And so this hummingbird is inspiring you to take flight on a new adventure, you know, and don't get discouraged by all the bad stuff that's happened, you know, because like that's kind of like the last reading. It was just kind of like healing from like all these wounds from the past, you know, and like maybe almost like preparing for this new adventure, because it's like you gotta look past all of that, you know. It's like if you want to make your dreams real, you're gonna have to collaborate, and you're gonna have to look past all that. You're gonna have to have faith, you know. But then the next card is the arrow, which this card has come up a ton, you know, and it's like, it's all about being in alignment with the universe. And it's like when you're in alignment, when all of your chakras are in alignment with the greater good, like your arrow is going to hit the mark. Like even though you're just this tiny little hummingbird, like you're gonna pull your arrow and it's gonna hit the mark, you know, because you have all the forces of the universe in alignment with you to like make your dreams real, you know. And so this is really beautiful. And then we have thunder, which is just sort of like, it's basically like this huge wake-up call, like life as you know it is about to change, you know. So it's just like, it's kind of like David and Goliath, you know. It's just sort of like, even though you're this little hummingbird, you know, like the butterfly, a little butterfly flap of wings can change the weather on the other side of the globe. So it's just like, don't discount like your impact, you know, because your arrow is going to hit the mark. Like, that's kind of what these cards are saying, you know. But at the same time, if you want to make your dreams real, you're going to have to collaborate, you know. So be open. Be open. Okay. So I'm going to go to Ethereal Visions to pull some general energies for this reading, which is like, it's like a really beautiful reading so far. I'm like, whoa, this is exciting, you know, because we've done all this like really heavy work. And, you know, ever since the coronavirus started, everyone's been having to like really work through some challenges, you know. And so this is sort of like a break in the clouds where it's just like, okay, like there's this new path forward that's starting to be illuminated, and it's just like, you know, there's starting to be like new inspiration, and that's really exciting and beautiful, you know. So yeah, let's see where this is going. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got an extra, but I guess I'm gonna take it. So, okay, all right. So we got the Six of Wands, which this is a card of victory, you know. So in the traditional tarot, it's like there's this parade behind this guy. Like he's gone off, he's like slayed all these dragons, and now he's come home, and there's like this ticker tape parade being held in his honor. Like, and then we have the Ten of Cups, you know, which this is like happiness, abundance, fertility, family, you know. We've got this couple with this little baby, and we've got the 10 cups. It's like everything, you know. It's like, come home to this. It's like there's fought all these battles, but come home to this, you know. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles, which this is like, in the traditional deck, this is a card of like the craftsman, you know, like really working hard at something, you know, and really putting like a dedicated effort towards something, you know. And then there's this Two of Swords, you know. So it's just like, this is a card of like blockage, you know, like a stalemate, you know. And so I think what this is saying is, if you want to get to this, you're going to have to make a dedicated effort to break through this blockage, you know, that falls right under this thunder. So like, there's going to be some like dramatic shift that's going to happen, and it's going to release like some major energy, because this is a big blockage, you know. But do not fear and don't be discouraged, because even though you're just this little hummingbird, your arrow is going to hit the mark. So this is like encouraging you to like work through this moment. Okay, so I'm going to go to Tattoo Tarot, get some general energies. Because, yeah, this looks like a this looks like a big moment. But, you know, it's just like sort of like laying the foundation for this new world, you know, the new world order. And it's, sometimes you got to break through some structures that have, you know, been around for a while and are pretty powerful, you know, in order to get to the other side. But it's interesting because right when I said that, the Seven of Wands, which is the card of standing your ground. So I'm just going to pull a couple more. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, so at the bottom we have the star, which that's a card of wishes coming true, and a card of healing. So, you know, whatever this blockage is, it's like, you know, not to diminish the challenge that this brings, but it's going to be healed, you know. And this is the moment where we're going to like actually just like face it head on and just like bust through it, you know. So it's going to take a force, you know. But, you know, underneath this hummingbird, it's coming home to this ticker tape parade. It's just this little, tiny little hummingbird, you know. But we have death, you know, a card of transformation, and we have the King of Coins under that. So it's like this little hummingbird is like being transformed and like stepping into its power, you know. Like this is like a really strong, solid foundation, the King of Pentacles, you know. And it's interesting because this King of Pentacles character is like really prominent in a thread on the channel called Phoenix, and it's all about, you know, this ascension where this king like is kind of downtrodden by all this oppression, and he goes through this spiritual lesson, and when he learns it, it ascends into like this emperor status. So anyways, we have the Six of Swords, which is a card of moving on from a bad situation to something better, and then we have the Two of Coins. So it's just sort of like this falls right under this arrow and this beautiful outcome of this family and stability and everything. And it's just sort of like we're like moving on from a bad situation, but we're kind of like juggling right now. We're kind of in transition right now. So it's just like, this is what we're going to, and this is what you need to be focused on, because your arrow is going to hit the mark, you know, but we're going to have to slay some dragons, you know, to get here. So, you know, it's just like, don't be discouraged by the moment that you're going to have to walk through to get to the other side. Like, because you're going to have to stand your ground against some resistance. You know, we have this Four of Cups here, which is a card of like resistance. It's like there's this cup of love being offered to you, but you're not seeing it because there's this blockage here, you know. And so there's going to have to be a dramatic moment of like breaking through that blockage, you know. So yeah, this is like pretty foreshadowing. Like, okay, like what's that going to be? I'm going to pull 3 more cards from Ethereal Vision just to get some guidance about how we're going to move through this moment. Okay. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, oh my gosh. At the bottom, we have the Two of Cups. So this is a deep love connection. And this is interesting because this has really come up in a lot of threads too. You know, the epic love saga, there's like this love that's been oppressed for some time, you know. But it's just like, this is at the bottom of the deck, you know, like we're going to have to heal something in order to bring this wish into, you know, reality. But, and it sounds like, you know, there's going to have to be a big blockage that's going to have to get walked through to get there. But like, don't get discouraged by that. You know, even though you're this little hummingbird, you've got the power to do this. So we've got the Page of Swords. So this is a card of like a message of truth or clarity coming in. You know, it's like this hummingbird has got this message. So this energy has also been really prominent in another thread on the channel called Stalkers. And it's like, you know, this is all the story about this energy that's been needing to be healed, you know, and that's been sort of manifesting in the three-dimensional world as like this sort of toxic stalker situation, you know. So it's just like we're transforming whatever this situation is. But it's like, even though, you know, this has maybe caused a lot of pain and heartbreak in the past, and even though you're just this little hummingbird, like, you have the power to transform this situation. So don't get discouraged, you know. And so then we have, on top of this, we're aiming for this, you know, but we're going to have to move through some difficulty to get there, we have the Fool. So this is a card of just like taking a leap of faith and just going for it. Like, don't be discouraged. Like, you got this, you know. Take a leap of faith into this new frontier. And then we have the Empress, because basically once you like move through this dramatic situation, it's going to give birth to this new, really abundant situation. So it's like you're going to have to collaborate to get through this moment, you know. It's like a dream you dream by yourself is just a dream. But if you know, if you really believe your dream, like, you got to put it out into the world and make it real. So that's really, actually, it's hopeful. I mean, but it's also a little daunting, because it's like you're going to probably have to slay a dragon to get there. But don't be discouraged. Okay, so I have this new deck, the Wild Offering Oracle. So I'm going to pull one from here to finish the reading. And it's funny, because I just got this because Rayne Tarot, which is another channel that I've been watching a lot, which I really love, she was talking about how there's this big sale at Hay House. So I got this, I kind of went crazy on this sale, and then I got this deck in the mail, and I realized that, oh my gosh, like, I know the girl who did all the artwork for this deck. Like, because our exes used to work together, you know, in another incarnation of the world, you know. Okay, so I'm going to pull actually two cards, because the first card I pulled was like, oh my gosh, this is so appropriate that it's crazy. All right. Okay, great. So we got change. Don't scare yourself with the next 40 steps. All you need is the one next action. You can say to love, just show me the first step and change me into the one who can take it. So this is like having faith, you know. And then the next card is feelings. Emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. So this, I think, is really speaking to this blockage and like how we're gonna like move through this blockage. It's like you might be afraid of like the feelings that are coming up, because like this is huge and kind of earth-shattering, but don't be afraid. Like, you don't have to figure this all out today, you know. Just take one step, you know, and that's all you have to worry about for right now. So take that step. Good luck, and we'll check in soon with some more guidance.